This day started with a very light tap on my shoulder. Mom, I think I'm in labor. It was between 6:30 and 7, and it was my daughter. And what was she doing there? My daughter had decided to have a baby, she and her boyfriend, and she wanted to have the baby at our house. Literally, at our house. So she lived with us for about 6 months. She got a job as an adjunct professor at Valencia, and she got bigger and bigger, had showers and everything. and that morning, she tapped me on the shoulder. So we went to the birthing center. Why a birthing center? My daughter had decided long ago she did not want a medically intervened birth. She wanted very natural birth, and she did go to the midwife at the local birthing center, and they helped her through this, but she insisted that she did not want to have the baby at the birthing center. She wanted to have it at home. So after she woke us up, we said, okay, we'll take you to the midwife and see what's going on. And we did. We went to the midwife, and the midwife said, okay, yeah, things may be happening, but I'm not really sure. Go and have breakfast, and then come back in a few hours. So we did. We went out and we had breakfast. We came back a few hours. There we go. We came back I'm not a pro, sorry. We came back a few hours later, and sure enough, the midwife decided, yes, she was in labor. But the big question was, should we call the father? Serena had left the father in South Florida. He was working for TSA and kept his job in South Florida while she was very pregnant at our house in Orlando. So whether to call him or not, it's a 3-hour drive. So the big decision that day was when to call Jesus. So we had breakfast, and we went to the birthing center, and coming back from the birthing center, we're driving down our street, and my brother's van was there outside of our house. And Serena said, I don't want him there. I don't want him there. Let me back up a little bit. My brother is the type of guy who builds his own houses. It could be a log cabin. It could be a yurt. It could be an underground home. But he builds his own houses. He's kind of a Native American philosophical guy. People kind of look at him as a type of shaman person. And he has lived with us for a couple of winters. And this winter, while my daughter was pregnant, he was staying with us, kind of off and on. And so that day, when she went into labor and she saw his van outside the house, she said, no. Why? Because my brother is pretty quiet. He's the type he'll kind of stand there and watch. You could spend a whole weekend with him, and he'll think you've really communed. Even though he hasn't said a word, he'll feel like you've really communed. And so she felt like that whole time, every time he was at the house, he would be watching her and watching what she was doing, but not speaking. And he kind of freaked her out a little bit. But I can't tell my brother to go away. So anyway, my husband and my brother kind of hung out outside the house. And while they were hanging out outside the house, my daughter brought a pool out to the driveway. And she says, "Here, Daddy, would you blow up the pool?" Let me explain about that. At the birthing center, they have a pool, and she had been watching birthing programs and wanted a water birth. But we don't have a pool or a hot tub, and she wanted a pool in the bedroom where she was giving birth. And my husband said, "I don't want a pool in my house." But she handed him the pool, and he's out there and he's blowing it up, and he's a pool in my house, a pool in my house, a pool in my house, but he got it blown up. Meanwhile, people were coming to the neighbor's house. Did I mention it was Super Bowl Sunday? And we were supposed to be there. People were coming. "John, what are you doing?" "I'm blowing up a pool for Serena to give birth." Immediately, they started a betting pool on how big the baby was going to be. So the time goes. Jesus gets there at 6:30, okay? And my brother and my husband are out in his van watching the Super Bowl. The midwife, an RN, me, and my daughter's best friend are in the bedroom. The pool is full of water. We ran a hose through the window. I know. and we ran a hose through the window, but there's no hot water. I had to boil 5 gallons worth of hot water to warm up the water. And 5 gallons of water weighs about as much as I do. But by 8:30, that baby was here, and she did not only make my day, she's made our life. Beautiful, perfect little baby.